So I guess let's go knock out this run and hope that we don't freaking piss ourselves, folks. Good morning, folks, and happy Sunday. So I am highly disappointed in ourselves. We woke up in enough time to go golfing with the buddy, but when I had woken up, I had a freaking blistering migraine. So I laid back down, and then I fell back asleep for a real long time. And I just feel like a piece of shit, because I don't ever flank on the homies, like ever. It's like my code. Don't ever flank on the bros. And I flanked on the bros this morning. I did not make it to golf today. But then again, we are the second day into water loading, second day into no carbs, so no wonder I woke up with a migraine running on, what? 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep. Of course we had a migraine, so. And then, of course, we were running off a little to no sleep all week. So, yeah, of course we woke up with a migraine. So, we'll just catch them next time. Maybe when we're not cutting weight, when we can actually have fun and it's not just, oh, bro, I'm going back to the golf cart. I'm tired. I'm hungry, you know? So, I guess instead, that gives us enough time to play a whole assortment of games with y'all today. Freaking stream just about all day. So, I guess, let's go get some grub into our bodies. Let's go knock out our last run. I don't think we're going to go get a sauna sit-in today. We're going to hold off on the sauna until tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But we are going to go at least go get a run in. So, let's go put some food in our bellies and then let's go knock out a run, folks. Well, my breakfast was great. My coffee was even better. We're feeling much better now. The headache has subsided. Well, I say the headache subsided. Then I called my mom. And come to find out, my little sister's getting bullied at school. And, you know, I passed it off the first time. Like, maybe she's not. Maybe she's not. Maybe it's just my little sister being a little dramatic queen. A little drama queen, you know? Well, come to find out, she got sent home with this little paper that she had to get signed by my mom, saying that, like, thinking about her actions and how she could have done something differently. Let me give you a rundown of what happened. And y'all can tell me if I'm just overreacting or if I'm being a good big brother. But let's run it back to the first week of school. First week of school, she came home crying because she was being bullied. She had to sit alone. And, well, that really irritated me. And I was like, well, why don't the teachers just do what they did? I mean, we're pretty introverted people, so why don't the teachers just do with you what they did with me? Just sit there and talk to you, hang out with you. Well, she said that the teachers won't hang out with them. They sit there and talk to each other. I'm like, okay. Well, I used to go up and still talk to them, but whatever. Wonderful. Well, on Friday, some kid hopped in line in front of her. And another kid pushed him. And then the kid turned and pushed my little sister's and then grabbed her arm and started twisting it. So when she had her arm twisted up, she pushed him off of him and said, go to the back of the line, dude. And, well, come to find out, she got in trouble for it. So me being me, I'm like, okay. Well, I gave him one chance to fix it. We gave him a second chance. We gave him a whole freaking 2 weeks now. And the second week of school, you're going to send her home with a paper how she did something wrong when she was just trying to protect her arm. Mind you, she knows dang and well my first time I ever broke my arm was someone twisted it behind my back and broke it in the line at school. So, her answer to every one of the questions is, I don't know. I didn't want my arm broken. What could you have done different here? I don't know. I didn't want my arm broken. What would you do? She asked Mom to sign the paper. Mom said, well, you're not in trouble, so I'm not signing this paper. She told me about it. Now I'm a little furious, and I'm like, you know what? I'll go in there. I'm cutting weight next week. Great day for me to go in there. Great time for me to go in there. So we're going to go in there tomorrow. We're going to be a nice, calm individual, but we're going to have a conversation with this teacher about how, hey, this is a private school, and there's kids bullying my sister. Let's make it real clear. I'm not going to bully my little sister. Got it? I get kids are mean. I'm not asking you to, like, I think bringing back bullying may be a good thing. But some kids deserve to be bullied. You know, it makes them tough. But I'm not going to have a boy pushing my little sister and then making her feel like she's in trouble. Nah, G. Nah, that ain't how that works. Not how that works at all. So, BillyGoat may be going into the freaking school tomorrow and have a conversation. Calmly. We'll do it calm. But we're going to have a conversation with the teachers about bullying. And how it's not nice. It is frowned upon in 2025, my friends. Frowned upon. But after my hour conversation and trying to calm my mom down, and at the same time trying not to get irritated myself, and yeah, we are finally out of the door to go knock out this run. Like I said earlier, I probably won't do a sauna sit today. It's real hot outside, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go take a nice little stroll to the freaking woods. Because why not? It seems like a nice little way to warm up the day. So let's go get in better shape today than we were yesterday. Go break a little sweat. Get the lactic acid in our bodies moving and flowing. We'll run at a pretty decent pace, but we're not going to run like at 100%. We're just going to run enough just to get the blood flowing, get the sweat broken, and get the lactic acid flowing. So, let's go knock out this run, folks. Well, we have made it to the park to knock us out a little run, to get a little bit of blood flowing, to get this lactic acid moving, to get a sweat going. And, you know, I didn't really think about it, but this was a terrible idea. I should have just went to the gym. Because we've been chugging water all day, all of yesterday, and, you know, this is just gonna suck. Let's just put it that way. I have to pee, and I don't know where to freaking pee, folks. I mean, nature is there's trees all around, but what if someone runs up on me while I'm trying to pee? That would be embarrassing. And there's no porta potties on the trails. So I guess let's go knock out this run and hope that we don't freaking piss ourselves, folks. Well, the good news, folks. We indeed did not end up pissing ourselves during the run. We found a porta potty. I didn't even know there was a porta potty out here, but there's a porta potty out here. So we were able to go pee-pee. And the run was great. We went over our allotted time, as usual. It never can just come out and run for our given amount of time. We always have to go over our given amount of time. Every time we get to moving and we're like, this feels good. This sweat feels good. This blood flow feels good. Or this burn feels good. Today we weren't burning very bad, but we were when we first started, and then once we got going, we felt pretty freaking great. So we can never just come out, run for our 30, and get out of here. Now we always end up 45 minutes, an hour later, and we are finally getting done. But it was a good run. Other than the fact that within a 45, 50-ish minute run, I end up having to stop 3 different freaking times to pee. It was a great freaking run. A great one. We broke a great sweat, and we weren't really exerting ourselves too terribly bad. We were just, I mean, of course we were trying to blow our lungs out. Yeah, we were trying to break a sweat, but we weren't like knocking out sprint after sprint after sprint. No, we're just moving our bodies. Of course, picking up the pace a little bit here and there, but again, not knocking out full-fledged freaking redlining our bodies. Just enough to blow out our lungs, get our blood flowing, get a sweat broken. And we did that. Probably like a zone 2-ish cardio, a little bit above a zone 2 cardio is right where we held it. So to not have exerted ourselves too terribly bad and be able to break the sweat that we did, I'm pretty happy with ourselves. Pretty freaking happy with ourselves. Except the one thing JB asked of us is if we could get home before 3 so that she could play some fort with us. Well, it's freaking 3:20 now, folks, so we did not indeed make it home before 3. So I guess now that we have knocked out an amazing run, gotten our blood flowing, got the freaking sweat going, let's stretch it out and let's get our butts home so we can spend a little bit of time with JB before she has to go make people feel better today than they did yesterday. And catch some crowns. Most importantly, spend time with JB. Yeah, that's the most important part. Spending time with her. Not the crowns. Not the crowns. But yeah, folks, I'm really proud of myself. Really impressed. Like, we really were not feeling it this morning. Like I said, I woke up with a freaking migraine. I so wanted to go golfing with my buddy. But I woke up with a get away from here, Sweat B, a terrible stinking migraine. So I just rolled over and went back to sleep since we haven't gotten a chance to recover this week. I know we took Wednesday to recover, but let's be real. We didn't recover. Let's be real. So I figured we'd use today to sleep in. I mean, I know we get to sleep pretty much all of next week. Like, that's the whole entire gist. But I had a terrible migraine. So we rolled back over and we went back to sleep. And then we got up and we were dreading this run, but we went out and we got it done. And we feel much better after. It's crazy how that works. Crazy. You go do the things you don't want to do and then you're proud of yourself after, and you also got some exercise in, and you also burn a few calories. You got in better shape today than you were yesterday, closer to your goal, closer to weight. Well, we are at weight cut weight, but closer to fight weight, you know? So yeah, folks, let's stretch it out and let's get home so we can spend a little bit of time with JB, since we obviously can't ever just run for 30 minutes. We got to run for an hour every time. Let's stretch it out and let's get out of here. Well, here we are friggin' flying into the driveway because we're an hour later than what we said we were going to be, and I feel really bad and I want to spend a little time with JB, so let's get in here and then do just that. Spend a little time with our JB. Ooh, skirt. Well, I am a teensy bit disappointed in myself. We indeed did not make it here in enough time to play some games with JB. We spent a little bit of time with her yapping and stuff, but we're not going to be able to play games with her, which makes me sad. But what that does mean is we can play some Battlefield 6. So I guess let's say our goodbyes and head inside and try Battlefield 6 again. See if we can maybe not die repetitively every time we step out of cover, over and over and over again. Well, now that we have had to say the inevitable goodbyes to JB for the night, I guess let's hit the freaking battlefield, folks. Hope to see y'all there.
I'm coming for you.
But I will still say that, like, there will always be a place in the heart for COD.
I got you. Come on.
I'm this gameplay, I think it's just so much more, it's just more pure than any Call of Duty as of right now. I'm not sure how the new COD's gonna go, but
Well, you have to think of COD not really as a war game, but more of as like an arcade game. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Because it's not really a. I think a long time ago they stepped away from the war vibes, which would be awesome if they brought it back. But if you think of it like an arcade game now, it's a pretty fun game.
He has a shotgun. He's still right there. If you didn't kill him.
Oh, he's right there in the corner. There's a guy right over here in the corner. Maybe he still is there. Nope.
Battlefield will never be able to do one thing, and that is zombies.
Oh yeah. But
See?
I'm not gonna lie, the last. I wish they just stuck with the original crew instead of trying to expand into all this. He's right here in the corner.
I mean,
Right here in the
yes,
corner.
maybe
Turn
the
right. Go through the door. Turn right.
maybe the game doesn't make much sense, the storyline, but the gameplay itself of these zombies have been pretty dope. I can't lie. I mean, like tell me one boss fight that you've been like, well, that was stupid. Every one of them you've gotten
What
to,
I'm
you're
more
like,
upset with
okay,
is the
that's
Easter
dope.
eggs. Cause like, I grew up playing the Moon Easter egg and stuff, and like, dude, the current Easter eggs, there's so much. They're just, they're so garbage.
Why? 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 This guy. Damn. I got lucky. Lucky again. Oh, come on. That Damn. I just blew their whole squad up. That was a sexy little play right there.
Well, after playing for about 5 hours, I guess my final opinion on Battlefield 6 is it's immersive, it's fun, I had a good time, I will be copping it. The same thing that I told someone who was in the game, I still believe that, like, I'm still a COD player at heart. I still love COD. I still think Black Ops 6 was a fun game. Do I think there's flaws in it? Yes. Do I think there's flaws in Battlefield? Yes. But did I have fun? Yeah. I started to catch on the gist of it, started to remember how Battlefield is actually supposed to be played, and I started to have an absolute blast. I started to get some high IQ plays in. I started to get some real strategic game plans going. Didn't get to play with any of the homies, but we did have fun while playing, and that is all that really matters. But like I said, we played for freaking 5 hours, so I figured our best bet is to go cook up something for dinner. Not so sure what we're gonna eat. We're supposed to be cutting out our sodium today, but what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat this leftover steak just because it's there, and then we just won't put salt on anything else.
I mean, our weight is coming off pretty substantially, and it's coming off pretty easily, so I'm not too worried about it. But at the same time, you don't want to add too much salt to anything, and then they're holding on a lot of water, and it's hard to sweat and all this other stuff. So to be safe, no salt tomorrow, no salt Tuesday, and no salt Wednesday, obviously. But today we may go ahead and we're probably gonna go ahead and eat that steak, because why let a steak go to waste? JB took 2 bites of her steak last night, and I was like, I am full, so I'm gonna eat the rest of her steak so it doesn't go to waste, because why not? But yeah, my final take is Battlefield is Battlefield, Black Ops is Black Ops. If they start trying to be each other is when things start to go south. I still had a blast playing their version of Team Deathmatch, but it's also their version. It's not a 6v6 first one to 100 or first one to 75, depending on which COD you play. So it was fun. Everything is, it's a very team-based game, so a squad is essential for this game. It is absolutely essential, and it probably made the gameplay just a little bit more enjoyable. I know when I was playing with my homie, I was having a much more fun time before I even understood the mechanics of the game. But after about 5 hours, we have figured out the mechanics, we figured out the strategy, and we have figured out the way to play. And I had fun. Will I be copping it? Heck yeah, I will be copping it. Most definitely. Most definitely. You gotta go out. We're gonna go out. So, I guess let's take our butts upstairs. Let's cook up a steak and maybe some greens. Probably have some kale tonight. Some kale and steak sounds pretty fire. And I guess hop back on the games. We'll probably run some Fortnite. Maybe run a little bit more Battlefield, either to start the night or to end the night. I don't have any idea, but we're gonna play something. But I'm pretty sure the homie wants to play some Fort, so we're probably gonna hop on some Fort with him. So let's get the dog out. Let's get upstairs. Let's cook up a steak, and I guess let's get through our last half gallon of water before we hit the hay. So let's go. Let's get outside. Let's go potty. Let's go take her potty. We may not get to have some of our favorite foods, but that does not mean we don't get to enjoy food. This is honestly like one of my favorite parts about the weight cut, is getting to be creative, getting to try new things in the kitchen, getting to test out new seasonings, new spices, because we can't have salt, we can't have carbs. So what are we left with? Herbs, a lemon juice, few seasonings, you know. So this is like one of my favorite parts. You get to be creative, you get to try new things, you get to see if you can make something taste good without putting all of the stuff that traditionally makes it taste good. So yeah, folks, can't say that it doesn't taste good. Mushroom, steak, and kale doesn't get better than that, folks. Does not get better than that. So let's slam this and enjoy it, and then take our butts back to go catch a few dubs, if you know what I mean, folks. Well, that steak, kale, and mushrooms, it was all freaking phenomenal. It all stinking hit the spot. I'm starting to think that, like, leftover steaks taste better than steaks fresh off of the grill. That's what I'm starting to think. That steak tasted better tonight than it did last night. That thing was terrific. Amazing. Wonderful. Thank you, JB, for not eating all of your steak. But something I've learned in my many of years having cut weight and cut out things that make food taste good, something I've learned that makes just about everything taste better and brings out like the full, I guess, aromas, flavors, I don't know, the whole palette of a meal or of a dish, is some freaking lemon juice, folks. Some stinking lemon juice. You squeeze a little bit of lemon juice on something, let me tell you right now, it's gonna make it taste 1,000 times better. That is exactly what we did with that kill, and oh my gosh, that was an amazing idea, a terrific idea. So, needless to say, dinner tonight was a success, and we got maybe a little bit under a half a gallon left to go. before the end of the night, and we have about 2 hours that we're gonna hop back on the games and catch some dubs. So I don't know. I'm thinking that's pretty all right. You know what I mean, folks? I'm pretty proud of ourselves right now. Pretty stinking proud of ourselves. But folks, something that totally off topic, but you know, this is about the life of a fighter, and sometimes you can learn some things from mistakes or experiences of someone else's. But folks, I guess the best way to put what I'm trying to say is, don't let go of your grudges. Let go of your freaking grudges. As me and one of my buddies had to find out the hard way today. We've since let go of the grudge, but needless to say, someone pretty near and dear to us ended up passing away. And we're just sitting there and we're like, dude, look at all the memories we missed just because we had a grudge on each other. So we didn't get to create those extra memories with the said person. All because we were just mad at each other. We let time slip by just because we were mad at each other over dumb stuff. Like, dumb stuff. Just someone said something and someone got butt hurt, and then ego and pride kept us from ever speaking again. And luckily, the beginning of the issue, the end of last year, we ended up mending the wounds, but we still never got to make more memories with the said person who ended up passing away. So, folks, let go of the freaking grudges. Just let them go. Let them go. Because you're going to end up having regrets and disappointments, and you're going to be more upset in the end from holding a grudge than if you were just to have said, you know what, I'm in the wrong, you're right, bro, I'm in the wrong. You know, even if you weren't, just let it go. Because eventually that bond will be rebuilt. I mean, it's all circumstantial, but eventually the bond will be rebuilt, and then memories will be created again. And if you keep that grudge forever, you'll never, ever, ever get to create another memory with the person who, you know, you've created so many memories with, you know? And at the end of the day, that seems like a sadder thought than just, bro, that person called me the B word, or whatever it may be, you know? Something silly, because, you know, people argue over dumb things, and we were arguing over something dumb, and then years went by without speaking to each other again, and then a few months after we mend the wounds, this said person dies, and it's like, dang, that's what you get for, you know, not respecting the value of time, not letting your ego and your pride go, and just being like, you know what, you're one of my best friends in the world. Why am I going to allow this stupid little scenario to ruin a friendship? And brush it off. And I believe time heals all wounds as well. It really does. Time heals all wounds. From someone who's had a few wounds out there, I can definitely say time heals them all. There's always going to be a scar, you know, like the loss of my brother. I mean, there's a scar there. But I would say that it's been quote unquote healed. Like, you know, I can live a somewhat normal life. I can put on a smile now, you know? And I would call that healed. I would call that healed if you ask me. So, yeah, folks, let the grudges go. Time heals all wounds. Do not let your ego or your pride or your whatever it may be keep you from creating more memories. Because you're nothing without a tribe. You're nothing. You're just you. You're just you. You got no tribe. You got no friends. You got no one to hang out with. What's the point of living? What's the point of it? So, yeah, folks. But I guess let's call it a night. Let's finish chugging our water. Let go of your freaking grudges. You don't want to be in the situation of me and having a little bit of regrets where you're like, dang. But I guess it's not regrets. It's lessons learned. Lessons learned. That's all you can really say. But like I said, let's call it a night. Let's hop back on the games. Let's catch a few dubs. I don't know if we're going to play Battlefield. I don't know if we're going to play Fort. I don't know if we're going to play COD. I don't know if we're going to play High on Life. I don't know what we're going to play, but we are going to play something. And we are going to pee a whole lot more while chugging this water. So I hope to see y'all there. Wonder how many pee breaks we take. 5, 10, 15, in 2 hours? I have no idea. Could be 20. But I guess we'll find out on the games, on the stream. I hope to see y'all there. And if not, you know what? Good night, folks. And BillyGoat freaking loves ya.